Oh, hello. That was the intro. Great, isn't it? One day I will have intros for things, but it is not today. So I'm going to try and finish this thing. Whatever this thing was. It's a map. Yes, let's finish map. Good. And the camera's doing alright. It is weird though. But I'd rather the camera be laggy than anything else. But yeah, so I made an incredibly stupid decision by actually making all of this a little canted, but oh well. Do this, and I guess do that as well. So all of this is diagonal, so I can't do a straight ramp like that, which is amazing. And I also don't like this, but I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Probably need other things. So now I have a box here. Why? Stop asking questions. So I probably want to do it like this. If I want to do anything at all. Anyway. Hi. Okay. Yeah. So this is a marvel, really. It is incredible. Don't even really know what I want to do with this place. Probably want to put some pickups on there and everything, but let's just leave that as it is right now. I also realized that in the other places, I didn't copy these guys, so I'm just gonna real quickly take them over there. Because all the mesh changes will, of course, have applied, but not the meshes themselves that I've... Why are you on the ground? Don't be on the ground. Come on. What? What did I copy? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there anything else I copied? No. Oh, I'm an idiot. I've put everything still to 5,000. That's why. That's why I didn't want to move, and that's why it snapped under the ground. Yes. Good. So, what was my rotation for this again? Wait, 90 is probably right. 90 is probably right. Oh dear lord. Maybe not. How are you offset? How could you possibly be offset? That's not right. So it is a... It's not even 50. What is this? I put this thing... Alright. I'm very confused. I put this thing on the grid, and now it is not on the grid. And this thing is... Hang on. So, it needs to be wide, away from the teleporter. Good. You are wrong. So we do this. Maybe I should have flipped it instead of rotating. Or is this just magically gonna work now? Of course not. Where are you? Here. Alright, this is going to be the stream, guys. This is going to be me, 3 hours of just getting these things right. That's all that's gonna happen here. It is the grid. Is this not the grid? It isn't. And now it's gonna work. I don't know why though. I don't know how that happens. Yeah, fuck this. Fuck you as well. Where's the other guy? There you go. High quality mapping, everyone. You wouldn't understand. Seriously, where's the other one? Hello? It's there. Just have to lift up the skirt. Here we go. It's right in the wall. Yosh. Poinky poinky. Poinky poinky. That was 1, 2, right? Yeah. Whoop. Poink, poink, poink. And an uncle is Bob. Okay, good, good, good. Perfect, absolutely wonderful. This is now no longer aligned. Do we care really? Not as much as you might think. We haven't hooked these up yet. We should probably. So this guy, so we need to know the destination of the cubby hole over there. Click, click. So you are the destination. Bah, bah, bah. I'm just gonna call you destination. Noob room. There we go. That's a name. So the noob room. Aja. And I'm going to call you Teleporter 4 has not really got a zing to it. Teleporter. This is where we decide wind directions. South. You are south, and your destination is the noob room. Click, 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 copy. Now we're going vroom vroom. Don't worry about this not being aligned. It is hurting me physically, but I think it's a test of will for me personally. You, sir, should also be was also not snapped. Disgusting. See, this I'm not really bothered by. Okay, you are north. North, and your destination, and this is the fun part, is also the noob room. There we go. Now we are somewhat in the middle. Patapam. And then we are going to have to flip these, or they're just gonna be correct. They're away. Why are they correct? I'm not gonna question it. Just not gonna question it at all. And they're in. Okay, great. Super. Wonderbar. This is totally not centered. Holy crap. There we go. That's better. Same thing with the other one. Wow. You are also completely not centered. Holy crap. What was I thinking? And then noob room. You are... You don't have a teleporter because you're not going anywhere. Not yet, anyway. Because these are one-way teleporters. Yeah, let's just test them out. See how much my camera will freak out. A little bit. Let's go there first. I know that zoom works now. Zoom. Boy. Oh, nice. Nice landing. I completely bypassed. That's kind of cool, actually. Oh, pew! Whoa! Ah, perfect. I'm not gonna change anything about that. Not gonna change a thing about that. That was great. There's gonna be some stupid things that people are gonna do with that, and I'm all for it. 100% for it. Guess it's gonna be the same thing with this guy. Wait, I took a wrong turn. Not me getting turned around on my own map. Hey, Barisu! That's been a while, man. Haven't been streaming a lot. How you been? I'm legitimately worried that, yeah, see? No, it's fine. I'm not worried. I know exactly where I was. All times. Ow. Alright, so... Yay! So yeah, you keep momentum. Super duper. Boink. Oh, I see you're using sign language. Have you lost the ability to speak? Is it aphasia? Sorry to hear that, but it was inevitable for you. Grasping human language is already a bit of a stretch for your capacity. See, I do like these bridges to nowhere here. How about you? Oh my god, I can read Barisu. Nice. Yeah, we're still making a game. That's why I'm gonna keep streaming. I'm guessing you probably see the D&D streams go live now. And oh no, because you're on Twitch, right? On YouTube, my other channel that I started for this project. Well, not for this project, for something else completely that we won't mention. That led to this project. I started streaming one of my D&D groups. The other one wishes to remain blissfully untouched by the internet. But yeah, so. You didn't know, that was a tactical, I wanted to reset. That was not intended. That's fine. So yeah. See, now I'm just skiing around. This is the danger of developing this game. Sometimes you're like, and oh yeah, you've been skiing for half an hour. Which bodes well for the game's addictiveness, of course. But not helping when I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this entire shape, but it's funny enough and it's awkward enough. I might, yeah, this is a nice opening. I probably want to open it up somewhere else as well. I know the thing? Yes, Dean, you know the thing. There you go. So opinions. Because I know this is a tight fit, but it's fun enough to just jump out of this and get catapulted. I wonder though, if I were to make a hole in the ceiling here, because there's plenty of ceiling to work with. Let me just think here for a moment. I'm not going to spend too much time on this box anymore because round things are boring, but let's say if we had, yeah, 6x8 is fine. Do 4. Can I go one more? I can. Interesting. And can I match that, or is that just too big already? Yeah, I need to be able to, like, match it, right? So... Open beta when? We are working towards a test. It's going to be a movement test where I'm procrastinating with this map. I'm procrastinating with this map and actually doing my duties and making like a time trial map, which I promised I would do after I finish this. I was hoping I would finish by this week, but last weekend. That was a lie. So yeah, now we're here. So I need to do the same thing over there. I need to be out of the thing. So 2, 2. So that means no. 1 away. 2 and 2 and 1 away. And then 8 by 6. By 6. 8 by 6. This looks correct. 1, 2. Okay. Now I've made a horrible thing. And then I'm just gonna break through, I guess. Watcha. 6 by 6. Oh, yeah, that works. And then on the other side as well. So this hole here, and so this is 6 over there. Wow, this is too much. So break through here. Was it 1 or 2? It was 2. Oh, bum bum bum. There we go. And then we make a little thing here. 1000's fine. Is that too wide? That might be. Yeah, no, let's not do it that wide. So. And then that. And then that. Go. Do the same thing here. 1000. 1. Outside is more. This one is less. There you go. And, you know, then we likely will do this and this. There. So now we have this weird thing going on. Perfect. That you can wall jump through. Perfectly intended, acceptable. Are you thinking pinball thingy with this box launcher thing? Well, no. What this thing is supposed to be, I can do something in the bottom as well, I guess. Like make this like a redirector. If I like put, but there needs to be sufficient buffer because I'm putting it. So the thing is, my concern is that the reason why this thing exists, it is like to collect lost sheep on the map. So if you're here, or if you're here and you're hopelessly stranded, you can then go to the noob tower, right? Now there's one thing that I have completely forgotten that I just thought of in this very moment. Both of these go to that base. I need to not have one. Well, I need to have 2 for each team. So I need to have them in other locations. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. So this guy needs to be on this side. Likely on this side. And then we copy it. And then on the other side as well. Wow. Incredible. So we're gonna... Yeah, I hate grouping things because grouping in Unreal is fun and intuitive, like most of the engine. So we're gonna group you. Same thing with you. Hop, hop, and flick, and stretch, and hop. Go. Group you. And I'll group the other one later, but yeah. So we need you somewhere else. And we're gonna do this again with the big leaps, 1,000. So we stay on the grid, like we did last time. And plop you down. That might be good. That's far enough away from base. Whoop. Not too deep. Yeah, that's fine. A little bit in there. Yeah, see, I need to embiggen the skirt. Yeah. I know, maybe I'll just put it down a little. Then it's still sticking out there. Nah, the skirt must be embiggened. Okay. Go. Just do that. Yeah. Deal. Let's do 400, I think. Go, and then we do 4. I mean, we can make this as deep as we want. There we go. So now, where you go? There you go. Now it actually works well. Okay. Yeah, I feel like there needs to be an entry point here. I don't know where it would lead though, because it's already quite a tight fit. Maybe it just pops out of here. That would be funny. Funny enough to work, maybe? Let's see. I'm spending too much time on this thing, but that's fine. I like digging holes. I can't help it. What do you do? Yeah, you end up there, right? Right there. That's not good enough. So that's too much. Okay, great. Come back. Do 2. 2 is fine. And you as well. The same thing, right? Yeah. 2. Okay, so see, now we're coming out here. I don't want that. I want you to be over here. And, you know, do this thing. Let's see what happens. I'm just screwing around now. Where do you come out? Over there. Okay. So let's keep this. Just have a little sneaky hole. By the way, a player character is like 2 of these blocks, so it's fine. All right. So that works. And then we do the same thing. Zoop. So if that's the case, then this. There we go. Yay! And then this hole becomes something useful. I can enlarge it. Alright. No. 200 maybe? There we go. You, and you. Get excavated, idiots. This guy does that. These guys do this, but multiple times. This is advanced mapping, you wouldn't understand. I'm not making it a lot more difficult for myself because I put everything on a 45-degree angle. I just wanted the challenge. Otherwise these monotonous things get boring for me. Because when I stopped streaming the last time, somebody said like, well, maybe you should learn the tools first. And I took that to heart. It's not the reason why I stopped streaming, it's just because it got really fucking intensive work. Because one of my coworkers basically dropped out for 6 months because of a work injury. It's not a work injury, he was injured going to work while he was in transit. Why is this so funky now? Do we like the funky? Why does this... I want the symmetry though, but where did I go wrong? Where did we go wrong? I don't know why. I'm not going to question it. This is just how it is now. So this is wider, right? Because I open it up 600. So it's just this whole block that we can strip off, I guess. Yeah. Okay, now still not symmetrical, but I'm not gonna care. There we go. So this is a thing now. This is in there. Yeah. Fine. Oh, no, not 100. There we go. 3 and 3 on the outside, that's 12. Let's say 4. We do that. 4. Yeah, for 4. Point, point. There we go. Then this for 4 as well. And then here we do the same thing. See, this is already getting a little dangerous. 3 and 3 is 12. Not yet. You. Yes. And you. There we go. Except I don't know what I have created, but it exists now. All right. Super. Let's see how that looks on the other end. Gone too far. Here you are. So did this overlap with anything? No. And yeah, there's nothing here. This is kind of cool though. So this one entrance is still a thing and this one just got collapsed. That's fine. That's cool enough. Okay, so that one is there. That means we will have a companion of his over there. Right? So we can already... It needs to be swapped though, but we'll... I mean... kind of do it. This might be simpler. Here's the thing, right? CTF, and this might be a bit sour, but CTF is 100% the last thing we're gonna be testing, right? What just happened? Where the fuck did you go? The hell? Apply to all, yeah. Get it out. Where the hell did I fucking end up? Damn. What? Huh? Just get me back here. So, the thing with CTF, we are going to be, because I'm building a CTF map. You can't deny that, right? Okay. There's a sensor. There's a base turret, right? There's a vehicle pad. There's footage of the vehicles being used. All right? We're clear on that. CTF exists. We have lights, heavies, packs, the whole 9 yards. But the moment it is playable, the tribes community will be activated. And we're not ready for that. There is still plenty of jank in here. We're working towards balancing our game and then also working towards creating a community for this game, not just from veterans, but actual players, right? You know, not the strange liches that still hang around our community. So once CTF is a thing, it needs to come with all the facilities, right? Otherwise, why bother? It needs to be equivalent, if not better, than anything we've had in the last couple of decades, which wouldn't be too hard, but everybody loves jank. But I know, and tell me I'm wrong, the moment you can play competitive CTF in Broadside, somebody's going to start a tournament. Hype's going to start, people are going to come back, and then we're off to the races again like we were with T3. That is not what we want. We need a stable base first. So we do movement tests, deathmatch, team deathmatch, time trials, no problem. Sports modes, we've got sports balls, we've got basketball, soccer, all those things, they're in there. And we need about 99% of the art still needs to happen, right? But yeah. We've waited long enough. T3 was a bit of a side jump where everyone's like, yeah, you know. But it did get this group of people together, finally do it right. And we are. We're in like a year and a half-ish. Maybe a bit more now. And look at this. Look at this beauty of a thing that I've made. I don't even understand it, and I just made it. That needs to be done by a proper professional artist at some point, right? We can't be left with inanities of Brett's mind. Anyway, I'm gonna try and move this again. I'm gonna do the world coordinates this time, and I want to see if this disappears under the fucking surface of the Earth again. So, yes, CTF looms heavily. Also, you will know that we're not going to be promoting CTF. We're not going to be... We have CTF. CTF exists. It is for the community. But we are not going to promote it towards newer players. There's going to be other modes that we will make that will ease them into the idea. For me, CTF... I need CTF to exist because I want to cast... I want to have tournaments, I want esports. But for esports to exist, people need to actually know how to play the game. And that is not the case anymore. CTF is a strange beast, and it combines all the skills of all arena shooters from the early 90s to the mid-2000s into a singular thing. CTF in Tribes is the apex of competitive games. I've always said this, I've always believed this. But in order for it to exist, we need to actually get an environment where people want to become good at a game and not be completely bewildered by roles that have been ingrained in our psyche, right? Capper as a role doesn't exist. We're going for regular pubs. Yes. And it's not going to be a CTF game mode. It's more going to be a Battlefield-y, like Titan from Battlefield 2142. A big, large-scale thing where people can fuck around and nobody's angry because somebody llama the flag and you have to explain it to a guy who's installed the game 20 minutes ago that he shouldn't touch the thing that the game mode is named after. Right? That's... the problem. you have a game mode that you can play wrong. You shouldn't have that. And CTF is the pinnacle. Once you learn the game and want to be good at the game, then maybe, right? We're going to create a nice little gated community for the tribals to have their fun and create content for us, and then say, here, little Timmy, if you want to play that, you're going to be good, right? Because you're not going to take a toddler from fucking preschool and throw him in the NBA or the NFL, because that's kind of what happens in tribes, right? We have world-class players in a very small box that come and beat the shit out of anyone who wants to play the game, and not even by design. Literally, a quarterback tramples the toddler without realizing there was a child there, right? Why was there a child on the field? Who allowed this? So yeah, and that was sort of the thing with TA, but it was definitely the thing with T3, apart from all the other things that went wrong. But yeah, good times. And the thing is, most modern games right now, they are like always this far away from making tribes. Like Apex with the sliding, even Mega Bonk has freaking FPSZ elements. I actually played that game because I saw you could ski. It's pretty awful, but yeah, not the purpose of the game. Like the movement, I love the game. The game's real fun, but yeah, not for our purposes. You know what? I've been playing a little bit of Tarkov. I have had like 2 sessions because I've been working on this instead. I tried to wall jump. in Tarkov, and it got me killed. I wanted to boost off the wall and get behind a guy. Oh, Splitgate, dude, Splitgate. Lumberjack actually knows some of these guys. I feel really bad for Splitgate, but they have the exact same issue, right? You already got a reduced version of an arena shooter because everybody's calling it an arena shooter. I disagree. Right? The only pickups are like one-shot kill weapons. Where's my armor? Where's my fucking... Here you go. See that? You know what that is? That's an energy. Did I put an energy pickup on the other one? I have pickups, right? We have a functional Quake game in here. We have weapon... Wait, hang on. Where is it? Here. Secrets. We have pickups for all the weapons. We've got mega healths. We've got energy. We've got tribes packs as a pickup on the map, right? So our DM we recently renewed that you have actual, like the energy pack and a shield pack are like pickups on the map, so you can choose your style. Some sadistic bastard even put the cloak pack on there, but I'm not going to say who that was. But yeah, so I'm going to click you, and I'm going to add you to the group. Add to group, there you are. Now where we need a good spot. Like Splitgate was... The thing is, they took their iconic thing that made them different than just a hit scan shooter, and then reduced it in Splitgate 2 for accessibility. Right? So that's the problem though, is that you have a very high skill mechanic, a ridiculously high skill mechanic that requires a lot of map knowledge, that reduces your game to basically a positional game. The only thing in Splitgate is position, right? Movement and all those things don't really matter because you've got a hit scan gun, and the only thing is, am I facing the enemy or is he facing me? That's where the game boils down to. Reaction and clicking, right? So, and they had then the slide, so they had like pseudo momentum. But that's the thing, well, once you have momentum in the game, then you need to adapt to it, right? You either have hit scan or you have inheritance, and otherwise you're cooked. Where do I want to put this? So this was in the midpoint. So, mayhap. But this is a little bit too close. Right? So where do we want this? Do I want it over yonder? Do I want it over the Pit of Death? The Pit of Death sounds very fun though. But how do we get there? Is this too far out if I put it here? Yeah, far out, man. No, this is good. I think I'm gonna put it there. So whoop, whoop, whoop. Now it's under the mountain. Whoop, not anymore. This is why we extended the skirt. Yeah. No, gamers didn't get soft. It's just that our type of game wasn't being played anymore. Everything got reduced to being positional. Apex, PUBG, hell, Counter-Strike. I have learned to accept Counter-Strike as one of the old greats because suddenly we were old and everything was great. But Counter-Strike is positional. What is movement-based right now? And I'm talking like even Apex with the sliding and a lot of abilities. Overwatch doesn't have a momentum. Imagine Overwatch with momentum, right? With Tracer and Genji and those abilities actually carrying momentum. Even Pharah, which is like, I guess, a nod to the Tribes-like FPSZ games, that is a static jump she has, right? So all these things, they are more ability focused. You press button and a thing happens. You shoot a gun real well, but I have a button that does the same thing to you. That is my issue with those games. So people aren't being taught to actually... We had to break the engine. Skiing and strafe jumping. Like, who's going to mechanically learn to strafe jump? That's one of the things why wall running is in this game, right? Because I wanted an equivalent skill to replace... I'm gonna do it. Right? Because the wall jumping off the wall gives you the momentum that a strafe jump would. Ironically, strafe jumping and carving is still in this game. You can tell because I'm going faster when I'm going in a circle, because it's still based on the Quake math, but it's not going to give you the advantage that just using a jetpack is, right? But actually using the wall ride, that's your strafe jump. Yeah? So that's how you build the momentum, and that's how you replace having to turn your mouse 45 degrees and alternate your fucking strafe keys, right? And you can still kind of circle jump as well, but again, the jetpack overpowers that, right? So yeah, if Overwatch being a MOBA in terms of hard counters and stuff, I will agree. And that's where... But it's got this weird thing where you still introduce weapon skill, right? So you've got your Widowmakers, your soldiers, your Cassidys, those kind of like high-end skill, and they live in the same world as the button pressing heroes, right? That's what eventually ticked me off, really, is that, you know, I'm shooting the best I've ever done. Because, let's face it, like, before I really got into Quake, I initially was a Medal of Honor and Call of Duty 1 and 2 player, right? So I was also just a hit scanner. And then, you know, Unreal and Quake and stuff entered my radar. But, yeah, again, like, the Overwatch does have position in... It's got a little bit of Z-axis thinking that you need to do, but yeah, again, it doesn't really have... It has movement on buttons. It has janky, like, things like Doomfist and stuff. You need to learn the mechanics to move around, so there is some movement skill in there baked into the different characters. But yeah, Winston, for instance, is just... I jump here and I'm just gonna hold my... I'm gonna hold my mouse here for a second, and then people die. But the timing, that's the thing. Overwatch has a lot of timing, has a lot of those things. But yeah. let's face it, like, the combat outside with tribes-like games isn't very fast. It is deliberate, it is calculated, it is, you know, leading and everything like that. It is very gentlemanly. In Broadside, when you go indoors, you're going to be playing Quake. You're going to be playing Unreal. It's going to be very fast-paced. Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of these games have very closed maps. That's true. To, like, concentrate everything, which is definitely not going to happen on this map. I mean, that's not entirely true, because here's base 1, here's a spawn building, and there is the other base. So you can see the other base. So it isn't that far away. The timeline for Broadside, I think early next year, so 2 or 3 months from now, we're gonna have a very careful movement test. That's just going to, like, you know, tip your toes. And then off of that, we're gonna see what the engagement is. And we're also talking about, you know, we've got an LLC set up, we're doing business things, we're trying to get things on Steam and stuff. So those are things that need to happen as well. We're doing very good with the vehicles as well. Maybe the vehicles will be in the movement test as well as time trials and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, we're carefully, slowly working towards things. We're still very much volunteers. We're doing this in our free time. I'm doing this after very long days at work, because I'm rushing towards a deadline for next week as well. Yeah, so okay. With that said, I'm going to put this guy also then over there. Here? No, here. One removed. There you are. Yes, okay. Ski and shoot, yeah, I know. But that's the thing, like, we do want... The challenge is gonna be making a community that's not just the tribes community again, right? That's why the arena shooter stuff is in there too, because these guys need to win as much as anyone. So yeah. Yeah. The capping, again, capping is like one of the biggest issues, right? The whole existence of a capper. If your game is good, the cappers will exist. In T3, that wasn't the case. Like, they forced the capper to exist with all kinds of bells and whistles. The thing is, if you have a team game that relies on a single player existing, and if he doesn't exist, the game is lost. Capper is a problematic thing. Even on this map, you will notice I'm going a bit more for a Stonehenge thing, where a llama might be viable, right? Grab the flag from that circle there, that's where the flag stand is, and just jump down and see what happens, right? Yeah. I was gonna do a thing here. I do recall. Where am I? What's happening? There we go. Because this isn't completely finished either. So I'm going to bring in some things. Yeah, I'm gonna... Yeah, T3 just... The thing is, the maps wouldn't have allowed cappers to exist if they didn't have all those bells and whistles, right? With the way they were bathtubs. Bathtub mentioned. Yeah. I don't want to talk about T3. It just makes me depressed. I'm really happy that I have the opportunity at all to be working on this. a lot of my self-worth is hanging in the balance here. What is the angle here? None nail. Is this it? I could just look, but 210. Is that correct? We'll never know. Whoop. So 180 that. Come back here. How is that 180? Well, that. Yeah. That is correct, though. Probably don't want to do this, yeah. Okay. Ah, right. I know what I did wrong. That's fine. There. There, and then do the 50 thing. Yeah, there's some weirdness going on, but I'm not gonna bother getting everything perfect. Because I've got other shit to do. Put you there. See, these buildings, when I copied them in, I sort of did a boo-boo, and I didn't align them to grid when they first came in. And this is why I'm stuck dealing with this shit. There. Yeah, exactly. King of Terif. There you go. Yeah, your name gets cut off because it's a little bigger. Oh, that's better. That's exactly what I said. Tribes 3 was my introduction to the Tribe series, so I'm rare weirdo that stuck with it. Now I wish all the games were like Tribes Movement. Dude, that's what happened with me and Tribes Ascend. I knew about Tribes, about the existence, and I almost got into Vengeance, but by the time I actually looked at Vengeance, it was already dead. So I like skipped over, and I was involved with Quake and stuff. So if T3 is your... Dude. Yeah. Okay. So this again distracts me, but I want to show you something then, right? So this is already bigger than a T3 map. My issue with T3 was I was already working on a different game called Axial Drift, and I've worked on a lot of community projects over the years since Tribes Ascend, right? This terrain I made for Axial Drift. It was supposed to be a Tribes 1 clone, but yeah, it's so that didn't go anywhere, sadly, as so many of these projects, right? Okay, I just want you to understand what a Tribes map should be. Also, I will say, if you are interested, there is a channel on Twitch that streams Tribes 2 VODs 24/7, competitive demos. I would really suggest you check that out, because it gives you a very good feeling of what it was like to actually play those games. Especially like the turret farmers and everything. This for me is a medium-sized map. Okay, so I find the distance, so you can see the base in the distance there. It's supposed to be a clone of this, but it isn't yet because I'm still building shit, right? Good stuff. So you got your spawn. Okay, let's take the shortest route, right, to that other base. Yeah, I'll give you a link in a minute, but I'll first show you this. So, see the height differences? This is the flattest this map will ever be. And look at the height differences. Okay, now we're at the enemy base. Yeah. Also, there's fall damage, because tribes without fall damage is absolutely ridiculous, because then what's gonna stop you? Again, we've got the wall riding and everything. Okay, so let's say I come out of the base. Right? This drop. That was everything wrong with T3, is the fact that everything was a molehill. Right? And if you think that was the entire map, you will be sorely disappointed, because I'm just gonna go straight now for a little bit. I'm just gonna leave behind everything. Because this map is, of course, it has these bases on it. But we're probably going to be using it for more things than just that. See, now we have these little cubbies, so I could go back home because I'm a little out of place. Oh look, we're still going. So plenty of activities. There's going to be time trials on this map as well. Do you think that was it? Where's the out of bounds grid? Where's the hard wall that stops me from doing this? Wait, we're not done? Oh, by the way, I started in the middle of the map, so it goes the other way as well. Will Broadside have teleporters? I just put some in. That thing we just passed is actually a teleporter thing. And now we hit the wall, which I'm not going to be climbing because it'll take me too long. And a whole bunch of terrain. And then almost dying because we're going... Alright? So, for reference, what did we just do? Okay. Have I made myself clear? This game will not have bathtubs. So yeah. And this is a medium-sized map. I have a bigger one that I'm working with. Also, to answer your other question that you might not realize you have, why is this silly ramp here? Well, because... Tribes are supposed to have vehicles. Okay. And yes, you can jump out and then kinda Indiana Jones, but you have to be a better player than me. And we have tanks. We've got a lot of people working on the vehicles right now and making them good. So yeah, there's gonna be smaller maps. This one is my experiment right now. I want this to be viable, right? Because it's still relatively small, okay? But I want people to be able to explore, of course. And yeah, it's a mirror. As you can tell, it mirrors down the middle. It is a mirrored terrain, right? So, but this is also reminiscent of Tribes 1 because there's actually tiles, right? You can tell because you see these guys here, this semicircle, right? semicircle. Oh, look, it's there again. Semicircle. Oh, look, it's there again, right? So this is a tiled terrain like Tribes 1 did it. Except for the fact that, because this hill, you will then also find around here-ish, but it does blend into the barrier wall, right? So, it is a repeat. So, 1B77, our goal is to have full-sized servers. The mode we want to build that's not CTF is, you know, bigger. But the thing is, we're looking into the movement codes and the networking and stuff to see if we can do like 30 versus 30. That's probably going to be the maximum as it is right now. But in terms of, and again, like CTF is not the priority. Okay, we will have maps that are 7v7. They're smaller maps, right? There will be the pubby maps that will be bigger, right? But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, the bases are bigger. I haven't, like this is a spawn point, so this is that's still big, but the base I'm working with right now, this is for me still like a medium-ish. It's not quite katabatic, right? Yeah. So, because you go in here, you jump up here. It's more quakey, right? It's not as static. You can then, you know, go in here. Get shot out. This thing, it's I'm making a playground, guys. I'm just making a playground, right? I want to have some fun. And that this teleporter works because it goes down into the base itself. Here's a generator. Hello, say hi to the generator. I'm moving. That hole goes up there. Oops. You know, but you could also just go around the corner and basically get there. We've got a back entrance here that you can go in. So that's the back of the base here. Look at that. Whoa. And then if you want, and go through the door here, jump down here. There is a little bathtub here. See that this is a whole T3 map right there. And you've got a side entrance for cloaky bitches that want to sneak in and kill a generator. There we are. And then you go up again, and there's a big open space for activities. Probably going to put some inventory stations here. And then you have these side entrances on both ends. So that's kind of what a base is. Then you can go from here and do a little bit of a tribes elevator thing and go back outside. That is a base for me right now. That's what I want to test, right? That's what I'm building for the scrum anyway. So yeah. Also, if you go in here, there's a turret. Haha, you can fall here, hop to the AVs, and then go back in there, and then you're back in the generator room, right? Wee. Ta-da. Marble Madness bases, yeah. I am obsessive with my curves. 90% of my maps exist with this freaking mesh. And the silly ramp is to get the vehicles out, and I put this in there as a troll. Didn't really work well with the tanks. Yeah. What was I doing? Right, I was actually trying to fix this thing. Doesn't need too much fixing. People don't need to hang out here too much, but still. I mean, a little bit of creature comfort, right? Right, I was doing this guy. I'm gonna grab this texture real quick. You. Poinky, 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 poinky. Hop. Oh my god, where'd he go? And put one in the corner there. It should be aligned now with the base, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. 90 degrees. By the way, hands up in the chat. Hands up in the chat. How many of you know Longest Yard without looking it up? The map Longest Yard. What game? Bonus points for year. It's gonna take too long. I'm gonna make it bigger. You should all know it. Otherwise you're gonna immediately get banned off the chat. There we go, see 8, that's good. One go. Two. And there. The same thing. And maybe not the same thing still. Yeah. Dormanty does not. King of the Rift, you got it. So I don't know, have you in our Discord? You probably saw the thing I did. The thing is called not trying to get sued, but still doing the thing. Don't think there's anyone left to sue, but still. Does this even work? No, I need to shrink it. 05. Again, I'm doing this a little dirty because I can't really spend too much time on this anymore. Ideally, I want to finish this today. Ideally, though. TBH, you're not. Well, then, remedy that by going to, what's it called again? Broadside.gg. And, yeah, I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem, but I will show you something. I desperately need to rename this map. This was my previous project before I started on this map. Did I just pin this? Okay, go on. Guess what I made? Huh? So yeah, and it even has teleporters. Let's go places. There we go. Aha. And instead of a quad damage right now, we have a mortar with 2 shots. And there's a grenade. Yeah, I haven't actually shown off the weapons, right? And as I said, the mega health is where it's supposed to be. We've got ourselves blaster, lightning gun, and even as the idiot that I am, I advocated for a railgun, which, fret not, it has a limited range, right? And it bounces a couple of times. Also, because of course, there's also a sniper rifle. That of course takes your energy. It also bounces. So that's good. And so you got the railgun, short range, Quake staple, and then you've got the Tribe's energy sniper. They exist in the same game. It's going to be fine. Okay? And we've got packs that you can pick up and swap as pickups in the deathmatch. So. Yeah, the sound, the effects for, oh yeah, we've got pickup grenades as well. And I think I put mine somewhere here. Did I? No, maybe not on this map. So yeah, that was, I've made longest yards. What did I pick up? Yeah, the plasma. Which is basically a shotgun, right? There you go. Anyway. Show and tell over. Elegie. I just said yes. So, yes, the plasma is in. But it's kind of like, it's not really a plasma, it's more the burner. But we're still working on, I want it to be like a shotgun type weapon, also energy based. Yeah. Where were I? I'm through the walls again, aren't I? Yeah, here. Up one level. There we go. This is where we were, right? Yes, yes, yes. Good, good. Straight edges. I hate all. This is why, with the wall running that I showed you guys, this is why Why are you poking out? Why is this? Everything needs to be curved because I don't want any. I don't want any snags anywhere. It all has to be smooth. So what? Fucking hell. Alright, fine. 10. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, we've been doing this for about a year now. And, you know, things are progressing. The only thing is we don't like showing things because we still have a bit of a, like, modeling crisis. We had an art guy, but he kind of quit. So then I had to pick up the slack in the art department. And it took me a while because, again, I had like 6 months that I had very little time. Mostly because I was exhausted, because I was doing 2 full-time jobs. But, yeah. Now we're kind of picking up the slack again. Does this work? Don't know if this works. Yeah. Then I do overlap it with the bottom there. Also, let's see what happens. Boink, boink, boink. You're not gonna tell me it's gonna end up on a... Alright, fine. My bad. Why? That's too much? Don't tell me it's like... Alright. It's... What? I don't like underlining. Yeah, I could lose sleep over shit like this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Nobody's gonna notice. It's not like I've got a record of this that's being streamed. All of you will hear a knock at the door soon. Please open the door. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's the thing. So now we have to grab these guys, flip them, transform. It's gonna be the Y. It's not. Fine. I'm gonna do this. This is what I call being very, very lazy. Because reasons. This is again on the line. It is. Oh god, I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna leave it as is. It's wearing me down. There. Do like the rough concrete. Yeah. That's kind of it. Do we want this to be copied? It's not going to be big enough. Yeah. So there is some overlap there. So I'll have to shorten this a little. Doesn't really matter how much. Just poke it out. So how far do you go? Okay. That's too much. There. Ish. Yeah, that's fine. Hiding crimes is all what grey boxing is about. And implementing things the least efficient way possible. Yeah, there's something screwy with the way this base was set up. I blame myself, because I was the ones responsible, clearly. Oh, right, I'm just doing it wrong, I'm sorry. I'm doing it wrong. Oh. There we go. Does this make more sense? Doesn't really. Let's do it that way. And then do it that way. You all mesmerized by my base building, or suddenly stopped being chatty? No. I know it's incredible to see a master at work. It's not all fun and games, map making. Sometimes you actually have to do the work. Wink, wink. 1 and 1. There we go. Okay, I think I covered all of it. Now it's a bit more curvy-worvy. Okay. See this stupid little curve, right? These two, suddenly, this entire place just became brutalist in style. See? That silly thing that is not gonna be useful to anyone just made this a beautiful, like, brutalist thing. It makes it look like all the tribes buildings are brutalist in design because they had poly limits. It had to be a box or a trapezoid because they didn't have budget for anything else. But if you add these simple curves that are useful for the wall riding and the skiing, suddenly it gives this industrial look, right? This weathered industrial look. The texture helps as well. I do love it. Like this upwards curve, but that seals the deal. That there seals the deal. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like a lot of the Quake maps, a lot of them were angular, but they did respect those curves, perhaps also with their movement in mind. And I feel like Tribes never really did that too much. You had the Tribes elevators, the shafts you could go through, but a lot of the base designs had snags to them that impeded movement. I always felt when I was indoors in TA that I was playing like this. I was like, oh, a little bit of jet, just slide on through. You know, you never get any serious momentum. And if it was, then it was fucking gated. And really, I begged them, even back then, just curve the surfaces. You know, make it a skate park. Make it a freaking skate park. Put in half pipes. Like, it's automatic. It works with your terrain, with your movement. It's automatic. Just do it. Yeah. I guess not. I want pickups here. I'm gonna keep that pickup there. Yeah, you can't blame Tribes 1 because they sort of, you know, had a different game in mind, and skiing was like, it was still thought of, right? It was not like, oh, let's move it. But yeah, it never gelled with the movement. That's one of the biggest things that I want in Broadside, is to bring combat indoors in a meaningful way and not just shoot a mortar and hope somebody dies. Yeah. I think I'm gonna keep this. It's funny. So here's just some spawns. And we want, and there's more spawns there. But we want the spawn point to have a inventory station. Sure. Let's do that. Where have I put inventory stations already? I don't think I did. I think it's just still floating there. Means connected. Yeah. Zoom. Yeah, I'm not gonna put too many inventory stations here because it's a spawn point, right? Enough. Yeah, it's got a weird turn, this base. Go press the forbidden button. Yeah, it doesn't work, does it? This is fine. All right. By the way, for those astute among you, this inventory station, what's that a reference to? Yeah, I do want, like the base, I do want to have pickups in there, so it is actually a Quake map. Also, I've been thinking about having windows, so you can look outside. So less of a closed off bunker, because we don't really have to worry about draw calls that much anymore. This is an asset from another map that I made, right? So I'm just plopping this in here as a temporary spawn point because I just want to be done with this map. Yeah. So I do want, like, I've got the vehicle spawner here. I need to put a lot of things here. Yeah, I'm gonna put two inventories here. Ish. Whoop. Yeah. 180? No. 20. Yeah. Curve. Thanks, Bolart. Yeah, I don't know, maybe more Phoenician team. I've got an idea for another faction. But we're first doing the Imperium, space Romans from space that made it to the space age. I've actually got proper lore. I'm just memeing, but yeah. So that's 2 inventories. And then we're gonna put some here. Definitely. Probably like 3 or something. That's one thing. The balance of these, like the bases and stuff, I'm not even going to worry about that right now. Just gonna put some things, make it functional, and just see what happens, man. Because I have no clue. I want these to be a bit more off the wall so people can just still run behind them. Yeah. All of this is just gray boxing to make it functional. Yeah, I'm not even going to outline them perfectly, assuming. Like that, kind of, yeah. And then just turn them 90 degrees. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Because once I'm finished with this side, I'm just gonna select all and copy it over to where this skin is, right? This is the one block. So probably want to get rid of the floating turret. I've got a lot of garbage here, like a lot of this stuff that I was experimenting with this tube and stuff. Yeah. Great. So we're kind of done with the spawn. I've put is one inventory station for the spawn point too little? I mean, don't want to be an asshole, so let's put it down. Let's put one behind this pillar here then. 20-ish. There we go. That's fine. Oh, must have selected something else. I don't want to put more curves in it, but because I'm using cube grid, I can't curve every surface, of course, in here. But it could use some more, like this bit, for instance, could be a curve instead. But yeah, that's work for later. I'm not gonna bother. What I was here to do was to steal this guy. Do want to put that there. Put like an energy pickup on the spawn. That's funny. And then say remove from group. There. Yeah. Mega health. How about that? I still need to jump in. Put that under there. So it's not gonna be too overpowered to have a mega health there, right? Probably want a repair gun as well. Put that here. Repair pack, probably. No? Okay. Normal repair pack. Can I find it here? There we go. Repair gun. Pickup spawner. Repair gun. Oink. So. And as well, repair pack. Where is that? Let's invade that. Would have been perfect to put those on there, actually. But this is more accessible for other things, I guess. So that's fine. I could like put pack spawns anywhere now because we've got them. That's really devious. For instance, if we put a pickup spawner jammer pack inside the base, these are things we can do. We can put it on like a minute Timer. Spawn delay 60. Asymmetrical is only in bad if the people suck. No. No. You. Okay. You can fix asymmetrical with switching sides. But who wants to do that? There we go. Spawn delay. Put that on 40 seconds. And put that on 40 as well. Yeah. Silly things can be silly. Yeah, I don't lay out a lot of things in this map though. I feel like maybe I should close this off. Base building mode, go. Like, what's that, 600? Like a wall here. Yeah, it's too open otherwise. Little bit of cover. Maybe here as well. Oh no, that's awful. Maybe I need to split this up. At least, yeah. Do that. Right now they're no, it's full loadout. I mean, but there's pickups like health pickups and energy pickups that are Quake pickups basically. But there might be like certain weapons that might not be available. You can balance through that kind of thing where you can't put it on your loadout, but you can find it. I think that's an interesting depth for map making. Like, let's not have X and Y, but you can pick it up. I still want to try something here. How bad would this be? Just a teensy bit. Yeah, exactly. You we do want those more silly weapons and stuff, and especially for the puppy modes that we want to have, there's gonna be more room for silly things, because of course CTF needs to be relatively balanced, because we do want it to be the high-end competitive mode, right? That's where the fun stops, so to speak. But mostly we want to make sure the pub is fun enough so people actually want to learn to be good at the game. And then you can introduce them to the chaos and horrendousness that is CTF for a casual player, right? But don't start with that. So how awful is this? It's not too awful, right? Just gives it a little schwung. Now, if everything is right, then we can just flip this on the Y. Nope, that's not it. Then it's the X. There's no way to tell, really. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, there's plenty of snazziness to add to this, but I'm not going to bother for now anyway. I am going to put a curve in that corner. Now it will be the flipping of the Y. I'm sure of it. There we go. Put that there. The same thing on the other end. Actually, we're being an idiot. Boink, boink, boink. That's the same one. There we go. And that overlaps nicely. There. Again, like 90% of this map is just this 90-degree slope. And I do not apologize for it. Because it works, damn it. Do we like this? I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense for it to be like that. We just will have to. No. In the same vein, I wonder. No, it's not gonna. I'm gonna. I don't think I like that. Then I'll have to make like a curving piece out of this. No. No, leave this. Leave the straight. Leave the straight edge. Probably want that repair gun over here as well. Just put it here for now. That's fine. Perfectly serviceable drop. That's a good slope to hit. Okay, what are we missing? Like 1,000 pickups, but I'm probably not gonna bother with that just yet. And I could put like, I mean, there's inventory stations here, right? First, actually, I would need to check, because this is the stand, this is a flag. Does the flag actually spawn here? Do I have 2 flags here? Alright, so this works now. Good. Damn it. Nobody saw that. Yes, okay. This is a neutral flag. We score. Okay. So this is a flag. This is a flag stand. Scary place to be off, I think, with all of these doors. Yeah. That's where the static is. Mostly gonna come in from this way. I love these buildings. They serve no real purpose right now, but I love the silhouette of them hanging there. Yeah. Grab the flag and jump down. What? And away we go. How did this place look? It's a little bit angular for my tastes, but... Away. Did the engine support skiing out of the box? Skiing. Oh no. That had to be made from scratch. Nobody... Here's the thing with the Neoptolemus on our team will tell you. He's been struggling with movement, mover codes, and networking of thereof for the better part of about 6 months, I think now. Nothing was ever fundamentally broken. It's just inadequate for what we want to do. So making skiing and jetting is very simple. Making it be good is very difficult. There's a lot of math involved. Vormulac, one of the guys I used to work with on another project, an arena shooter, he gave us the movement basically. My god, that is horribly off-center, isn't it? And the math and everything was pretty good. It was very analog. I'm confused. Didn't I ever fill up that gap? And that's a bit of an oopsie. And then I took the teleporter. So yeah, it's a whole can of worms. Because, funny enough, while trying things, Neo accidentally made D3 skiing. And he was not summarily executed, but it was like a harrowing experience. How easy we might have D3 skiing. Yeah. Anyway. I think I'm about to wind down as well, because you can see my energy levels dropping rapidly. And I've already had a long day before I started the stream, but I tried to get as much done as possible. So I need to fix this pit. Please ungroup. Oops. Why? Oh yeah, right. I can't do it with this one because it's fucked. None. So, where am I again? There we go. So why? Oh why? Streaming with code accident too? Yeah, it was meant to be that way, right? An entire genre. Why is this off center now? Oh, because it's the wrong one, you idiot. This is the one I need. Fix this. One, two, three, four. There. That's fixed. So yeah, skiing was definitely also a mistake in the code, but they embraced it, and rather than, you know, because I actually heard that Carmack wasn't that keen on all the advanced stuff that was happening with Quake, simply because yeah, of the problem that the scene then later found out, right? After a while, your intrinsic skill weathers down. You weren't there when it was discovered, so you have to learn it. But that's a step that a lot of players won't do. Same problem, Fortnite, building. It was very popular. People who were around when building was starting to shape up had the learning curve and actually caught on. Then the new players entered and they wouldn't know. They see the advancedness of the building, couldn't catch up, game bleeds out. So let's remove that mechanic, right? That's one of the issues with tribes. The concept of disc jumping, of rocket jumping, is foreign to a lot of people, right? So all of these discovery mechanics have to be discoverable and not just present you with the final stage of it. That's the whole thing of, oh, you're so talented because you can paint, or you can, you know, draw something. Like I'll never be able to do that. And motherfucker, I had to learn from the beginning, right? Yeah, it's my claim to fame is that I got retweeted by John Carmack once, because I did a tournament many years ago now, around the time where the 2016-ish, the renaissance of all those arena shooters like Reflex and stuff. And I did a Quake tournament at a LAN event, a 1,000-man LAN event, and Nobody knew how to play Quake. I made an article, I made a cast of that. I made an article of it, and that article was picked up by Kotaku and then retweeted by Carmack, which he basically stated like, there you go, that's playing Quake as it was intended, because these people didn't even know to jump. A lot of them, it took them half an hour to jump for the first time, let alone strafe, right? Let alone understand the mechanics of armors and pickup timings. Yeah, the thing with the disc launcher and all the inheritance weapons, that is my biggest fear, is conveying that mechanic to people, because it is unintuitive first, but then intuitive again, because your brain starts, if you just allow your brain to work, it is very hunter-gatherer kind of logic, right? Leading your target and stuff. So you just have this moment where, oh, but if, yeah, it's also not actually required, because mid-airs are cool and all. They're very cool, they're amazing, you'll always remember your first. But not integral to the combat of the game. Because that's nice to do, but you might as well wait until the guy hits the ground and try to aim for that moment to splash him, right? Because that's, again, that's a horrible mistake in T3, where we were told what is the most iconic thing to do in Tribes? Mid-airing someone. Okay, let's make mid-airs dime a dozen so everybody can do it, and it becomes now a requirement for basic combat. No. Not what we said. No. That's fine. Yeah. Oh, I have these pillars that I haven't been using a lot. Oh well. But yeah, the biggest skill gap problem in Tribes is that you can kill someone at the wrong time. You can make a useless kill. Kills are not important. They have to always be in function of the flag or anything happening around the flag, right? So you can be extremely useless in Tribes. You can also make 0 kills and be incredibly important, even on offense. So. Well, everybody knew Quake, everybody played Quake, because there was only 5 fucking games in existence. You had Unreal, Quake, and something called Half-Life. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. But the thing is that, again, as I said before, if you start playing the game when it comes out and learn the mechanics along the game, same thing with StarCraft, same thing with a lot of these games, at some point somebody comes in who hasn't played the game yet, and then they enter at the point where people have mechanics that are hidden skill, that the game tutorial, the game itself, does not explain. StarCraft's meta is not being explained through the campaign. So you as a player need to have the ability or the desire to learn. We were shooting the shit. We were playing Brood War, we were playing Quake, we were having fun and free-for-alls, but we still improved regardless of our intent. We became better than the newbie. The moment that happens, and the game itself cannot teach you, that's where the point of failure lies. Because there will be people that say, oh, this looks cool, I want to learn this. I will consume media, I will learn, I will lose, I will lose against these people time and time again in order to improve. That is already a competitive action. Congratulations, you've just lost your casual base completely. You only get the casual competitives. That's where the games bleed out. And for Quake and for Brood War, it took 20 years. For Quake, a little less so. So, yeah, exactly. You had to talk to people. You had to, eventually Quake Live had a tutorial, which wasn't great, but was good in spirit. It had little videos that you had to follow. But that's the thing. You had a mechanical thing that needed to happen. You needed to move your mouse at a certain angle. That is a hidden skill, a hidden mechanical skill that is not a mechanic in the game. That is an outside mechanic. That's why wall running in this game, because it replaces strafe jumping, it is a mechanic inside the game, right? And Tribes is the pinnacle of all of that combined. Timings, coordinations, map knowledge, high speeds mechanical shooting, inheritance. So bringing this game back is going to be very, very difficult, but it is the main mission. So, right. There's more people playing, sure, but there is also the question of, is it worth learning this game? Right? And I agree with you in that I believe that a game like this can make it again. It's not why I'm making it, because I need to make this game. It is a physical wound in my soul that forces me to keep trying to make Tribes clones, and try to bring it forth in the present day in some perverse way of proving to the world I'm right. And we thankfully have some people who enjoy doing this as well, even though they might understand the futility. But I still am 100% convinced that you can have this game be a thing in present day, right? It just needs to do a damn fucking good job in teaching people what the game is and how to play it. Because not a lot of people have succeeded in that. So now I need to, this is something I do need to center properly, right? Like here-ish, I think. Is that good enough? What is this? 13, 12. Go away. This is gonna be a thing, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, but the thing is, if your skills are invisible, like, this is a big problem we had in Brood War, in StarCraft. I did play that a lot as well, and I was part of a community trying to teach people. The metas that exist are not learned in the game, right? So a new player coming in who is not being told anything will never catch up, because it won't have that same constant. You have a single individual and not the entire community trying to learn the game anymore, because the community becomes closed off. And with games like StarCraft, like, you can play against bad players your entire life and not become a Korean pro, right? Because things have been figured out at a higher level than you can bridge yourself individually, because the game doesn't teach it. So yeah, we'll definitely have like a shooting range kind of thing. I'm sort of working on a tutorial kind of thing. But yeah, early days. All those things need to exist. And it's mostly gonna be through defrag. Like time trials and stuff. I just need to get this out of my brain. One sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm on 50, right? This is awful. It needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the center here. That is correct. Okay, so and if we turn here, it needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the middle there. So on that, kind of, yeah. Yeah, like the metas in Quake, just the concept of control and out of control is completely alien to how people played with that concept of timing, of rotating, of routing around the map, right? The fact that if you stay in one position, even though you're fully stacked, you're losing. Like, those are very recent concepts in Quake, but they're amazing and they make it an incredibly complex game. That's one of the things I try to explain to people. I always use Quake as an example. It's like, if they know a shooter, it's like, oh, it's just shooting guys. It's just pew pew pew, you know, oh, I killed you. What finesse, what strategy is there? It's not, it's just shooting guys. No, it's probably one of the most complex shooters ever made. Certainly more complex than Counter-Strike, which is just peeking a fucking corner. Sorry. You know, because it has the positioning in Counter-Strike, except the fight isn't over in a single bullet. You still need to apply a number, like an accuracy, over time rather than a single moment. But yeah. And Tribes is double that, right? It's constant application of aiming skill rather than in a single moment. Do we want more jump pads? Do I want jump pads? At the base? I think I do. I think I want a jump pad. If I can find them again. Probably want to make them a little bigger. But if you are here and you are there, maybe I just make it a noob trap and do this. And just scale 2, 2, 2. Two, two, two. Oh wow, that's suddenly a lot bigger. Whoops. Maybe 1. And give this collision Gotta make the sound when doing that. That's... I probably want it to be a bit more obvious. Right. Okay. These guys in here. That's fine. Come on, select it. This is just to make it obvious that there's a thing here. And this is correct. Sure. Very obvious. And then we select this guy. Impulse normal. And I think 7,000 will do it. This is gonna be funny. Ooh. Has to do it. Yeah, I need to sync that. I need to like make a little fancy little platform, I think. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Did I find the hole? How did I? Where? Where hole? What? You lie. No. No. What? Squeeze me? This is great. And I bounced in here. And I fall through the map. Incredible. How is that even possible? Let's not take this one for a change and just go in here. Aha! There's still a wall there. Yeah, by the way, the blaster also bounces. So this line is effectively not there. Okay, that's good to know. And this one, this is fine. So it's up to this. This bounces. And this falls. Great. I guess that's an issue. And here everything... Oh, no, no. Not fine. God damn it. Alright. Okay. So yeah, no collision indeed. Well, no solution for that. More rocks. To be careful. I don't want to see anything poking through here. And any other buildings here? It's everywhere where I basically cut away the terrain. The invisible thingy. So I need to like pad everything, I guess. 180 that. Can't see shit with this collision on. There you go. And this is why we pad with rocks. Wunderbar. An issue here too? Likely. I was hoping I'd be done with these. No, it's so in order for these bases to exist under the mountain, let's say, I have to basically erase the terrain, right? See, it's here erased. But what I found is because this terrain is scaled to a certain size, to get as big as terrain as it is scaled to 900. And that means that the collision of the terrain also gets stretched, which isn't a problem for skiing, because that just, it's a good thing, because too many interactions with collision sectors can lead to dead stops and stuff sometimes. But every time you wipe something out, the collision doesn't 100% go along with it. So if you go here and I go to visibility and I erase this part, you see how it isn't uniform to the collision. So now you can see this is overlapping not perfectly with what was wiped out. So this area is still going to have collision, you see? So even if I'm stepping into the translucent bit, it's not going to be gone away. In the middle here, you do see a hole where there is no longer any collision registering, and you can now see that this whole bit doesn't have collision anymore, so I still fall through there. So that's what's happening. And now the collision's back. So I just need to stretch. So I do need to take care and see if this becomes a bigger problem. It's a bother I didn't want to, but it is of course a problem. So anywhere where you erase terrain, that is a thing. So now I'm wondering... See, it's fading there too. So if I walk in here, yeah, there you go, see? No. Yeah. I'm gonna have to circle the whole thing. Yeah, they are already quite thick. The bases already have quite a bit of walls, but I underestimated it, clearly. So we're just gonna line it up. Do this real quick. It's gonna look a little samey, but right now I don't care. Just quick and dirty. Sure. See, because then you get things like that, where you get like a piece sticking out. This is of course a hollow, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's these little things that really, like, making whole things isn't always the biggest time sink. It's the little details that really get you. I'm just gonna stuff it like this. Probably need one for here as well. Go. Probably here as well. It's fine. Okay. No, fuck all. There's still more. Man, it's wide. Very wide. It's really that whole segment, man? Jesus Christ. Don't get it. Oh, good thing I caught it when I did. Yeah, well, this is the collision. right? That's what you get. And yes, it's cumbersome because Unreal's editor hasn't really changed in many years. They're working on it, you know, there's tools. This is your view, so you kind of have to guess. See what this gives. Yeah, there should be something more efficient than spot checking with a fucking blaster, but hey, we've got it. Probably where there's still going to be some shenanigans. Yep. Found one. Alright. So here, there's a whole chunk missing. Okay, good to know. Getting distracted. Bouncy ball punny. Everything's fine. Okay, so just this corner still. Sure. There we go. Cock polygons, that's a radiant thing. That's like a... God, you just gave me a flashback for trying to make a map in Call of Duty 1. Which was very much Quakey. Quake 3, right? I want like a fancy pedestal for this. Prime time. Nope. Not the most efficient use, but no, I'm just nah. Yeah, in Call of Duty it just had caulk on it, and then I think Hammer had it too. Not sure. Alright. Alright, that is 11 o'clock at night for me. So I'm going to wind down here. There's a lot of finicky fuckery things that I can still do, and then I just have to mirror it. And I think I'm gonna ship it for now. Probably want to have a texture on most of this stuff as well. The concrete texture. And then we shall see. Remember how Guild Wars 1? Alright. That's one I missed, sadly. Most of those early MMORPGs. Or well, and adjacent. Yeah. Still plenty of work to do, but again, I want to have like a workable version put in the scrum on Saturday. Do wonder how that's gonna go. Anyway, saving. Thanks for watching, everyone. Slowly shaping up to be a thing. The thing I'll be working on next will be like time trial race things. I might put one on this map as well. Might be interesting. But mostly it's I've got this thing that's been killing my soul, basically. Which is like a tutorial set. So, first, you just go forwards. Even still got the the old teleporters, which I need to change. And now there was a little curve. See? Oh. Then, by the way, you can still just press forwards. Even without skiing. But it gives you the intent of what this game is going to be, right? So you can just make it without pressing any other buttons than forward. And here, oh, what's this? Oh, that's strange. Oh, look, there was some things. So momentum. How weird. And you just walk up. And then here, oh, what's this? Huh, strange. Does it do that every time? And you can actually make it without, again, jetting or doing anything. And then here, another one. Okay, fine. Oh, but this one doesn't. And this is the first one that has a failure point. Because if you can't figure out how to use any of the mechanics at this point, of course, there needs to be like a thing that says like, hey, you should probably do that. So you do need to use the jets here. Just a literal, like, tiny micro click. And here, you're left to your own devices. You actually have to use the jetpack the whole way. Right? That's how I've been building these up. And then here, oh my god, the dreaded thing, a corner. Whoa. And it implies this curve. Of course, you're not going to use this yet. But maybe. And all of these are time trials, so you'll get a part-time, right? And here you go, back to the start with this one. So that's the kind of tutorial set. But let me tell you, making these is absolutely soul-crushing. It is. That's why I needed to make a really big map with a really big base. Because my brain broke on this one. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. King of the Rift, thanks for showing up. Everybody, thanks for the chat. And yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna try and finish Elegy, and then we'll see what we do on Saturday. I might, just for me, need to play some fucking Tarkov. Anyway, GG's, bye-byes. See you all next time.